What's up guys, it's me, Emily G, back at you again with another commentary video. Right now I am just sitting on my sofa, my lovely thrifted sofa. I just finished filming my latest video actually, which was on Meghan Trainor and her surrogate baby. So go check that out. I'm trying to get a lot of videos out there right now because I know that a lot of us have a snowstorm slash ice slash rain slash whatever. There's some wacky weather going on out there, and I know it's impacting a lot of people. So hopefully everybody still has power and still has Wi-Fi. I'm hoping for Wi-Fi myself. But I figured I'd get a few videos filmed and edited, and let's get them out. And that way we can have plenty to do and plenty to watch during this snowstorm. Because I know I'm off from work on Monday. I'm not off, sorry, but I am and work from home. So work from home Monday and Tuesday, and we're just gonna be battening down the hatches and inside this weekend. So it should be good. And yeah, I don't know. I've got all my stuff together. I got some new boots the other day, some like snow boots. They're more like, I don't know, they're more like fashion boots than actual snow boots, but the tops of the feet and like the bottoms are grippy and waterproof. The sides are more like a mesh, like that shouldn't really get wet. I wouldn't want to be jumping around in the snow, but it'll be better to get me to my car from my apartment in those than my sneakers. And I've only got the other one pair of sneakers, the one pair of shoes, because some background lore, I had some toe surgery, yada yada. Maybe that's another video, but I've only got the one pair of shoes and I'm very particular on them, so I don't want to mess those up. So I got these for $11 at Gabe's. I love a good deal, and I'm happy enough with them. So hopefully they keep me from ruining any other shoe, at least in the snow for now. I also got, it's in a bag right now, and I don't want like the crunchy bag sound to be annoying on camera, so I'm not gonna open it. But I got some paint markers, kind of like regular drawing markers, except instead of like the marker ink, it's actually like an oil-based paint in it. It comes out very smooth and like liquidy and beautiful on pages, paper, like cardboard. So I got those the other day so I could draw on like these cardboard boxes for my work, and I'm gonna make Valentine's Day boxes and put like little candy in them and stuff. So hopefully that'll be my fun project for this weekend slash Monday and Tuesday, because I need something to stay up and do, and hopefully I have lights and power and Wi-Fi. So everybody please vote for Wi-Fi in the comments. You can do it, Wi-Fi. But today we have an interesting topic, and a topic that I almost really didn't want to cover because I feel like it's such a delicate topic, which I find a lot of these that I have covered are so far. And I end up covering them anyways because, as I said in the last video, I'm trying to cover topics that I find interesting personally. I don't want to just be like a commentary channel that covers every single thing. I'm going to be a little more selective here because I want it to be things that I care about. And I had heard about Gypsy Rose Blanchard's videos that came out. I believe they were requested as public documentation, or however they do it through like the Freedom of Information Act. I don't know how they were put out there, if like an individual requested it or just like the court was like, hey, like statute of limitations is up, like have the files. People are calling them the Gypstein files. What are we doing in 2026? We have the Gypstein files before we have GTA 6. Are we for serious right now? I mean, it's crazy. And I feel like I can't call them the Gypstein files because it's just so ridiculous, and it feels like it makes light of the files. And I don't want this channel getting shut down. Are you kidding me? They'll do that. I'll get shadow banned. I'm not saying his name. I feel like it's making fun of those files, and so I feel like I can't call it that. I'm just going to call it those released Gypsy Rose Blanchard videos. And I really didn't want to talk about them because I had thought, I heard what the videos were and that they were like very intimate, not exting videos, or like, I don't know, they weren't like of an sexual nature in that they were graphic and showing things, but they were in that it was like a fantasy role play kind of thing intended for her then boyfriend. I think his name's Nick, who, you know, is now sitting in prison for committing these crimes, and unsubscribing from life. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's now late mother, which I hate that term, unsubscribing from life, but I can't get flagged by YouTube for saying the other word, so I'm sorry. I want to stay on the platform. That's how we got to do it. And we're going to have a lot of those code words today because I want to talk a little bit about the videos. I don't feel comfortable showing them here. I know that a lot of other creators have hesitated to show them because it turns out that Gypsy Rose's team was trying to copyright strike them, which I am not afraid of that, first of all. Let me tell you something. I'm not afraid of it, A, because I think it's ridiculous, and B, it's not her videos. I hate to be like that. They were at one point, but now that they've been claimed by the courts and released through the courts, the copyright is owned by the state of wherever this was. I forgive me, I don't know what state it was in. So she's trying to copyright strike people. I won't say falsely because that is a crime, and I don't know if she understands that they're not her videos anymore. I would want to get those videos too down, girls, or down too. So I understand, right? But that's not why I'm playing them. I just feel like they are too graphic. Some of them are talking, you know, about things that are very graphic and uncomfortable, and I want to be able to talk about that while still having some people watch this, right? And B, it's just uncomfortable to me. I don't feel comfortable sending it around because it feels to me like it's almost like revenge porn, in the sense that, yeah, although it's not technically her copyrighted video anymore, it was like her being romantic or role-playing or whatever with someone else that was never meant for like the public eye. So I do feel, regardless of who she is, because I'm not a fan, right? But regardless of who she is, or if I like her, or whether I whatever, right? I'm not going to share that. It goes against what I believe personally, at least for now, right? But I'm sure, sorry, that's my fridge in the background. It's freaking out. Because there's a snowstorm, yay! Anyways, let's talk about the videos, because there's a lot of them going around. I don't know if they're being released in batches or whatever you have it, but at least a wave of them came out, right? More than those other files. A wave of these came out, these videos, and I know some people were reacting to them. For example, I had seen, and I'm not calling him out specifically, but Cinnamon Toast Ken on YouTube had reacted to some of the clips, which was how I found out about this. And I know there are more out there that they did not get to play, but the one clip that really, really bothers me, because for the majority, it is her, and I guess I should paint a better picture, right? Because some of this might be a little too vague. It's videos that she took when she was younger, but I say younger than she is now. She was over the age of 18. She was in her early 20s, legally an adult, right? And regardless of whatever we want to say about her mental capacity, her any order or disorder there, right? Because I know a lot of people are saying, oh, like, this isn't her fault because she's just not as developed because of all the medical things. I'm not a doctor. I can't say whether or not that did or did happen. I know the courts ruled something and said she was probably mentally unwell, and so they were a little more lenient. I think in this instance for me, I believe it's irrelevant to some capacity, right? We see her now as an adult, and I mean, she understands right from wrong. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. She understands what other people deem right from wrong. How about I phrase it like that? I think that makes more sense. She understands that some things are meant to, hey, don't talk about this. People aren't going to like that. Hey, don't do that. That's a crime. You know, like, so whether or not she cares, I think she does understand the capacity for people don't think this is a cool thing or don't like this. And again, I can't get into her mind, right? It's never going to happen. So why try? But it's my belief that she knew what she was doing with these videos. And she was also probably keeping them hidden, right? Because she didn't want them getting out. She didn't want her mother seeing them. Some people have speculated that the mother knew about these videos all along because The mom never allowed Gypsy to be at home by herself or really be alone by herself too much. I don't know how true it is, right? There's a lot about this case that we have not discovered, and we will never know the full truth because we were not there and we cannot go back in time. It's very fascinating to me, and it's very fascinating to a lot of people. And in order to keep this video short, we're going to have to assume a lot here, unfortunately. Sorry, my throat's getting a little dry. We're going to have to assume a lot. Don't judge me for the Stanley Cup. This was in the lost and found in my old job. My manager, Ryan, let me take it. Thank you, shout out, Ryan. You're the best. And I did clean it out. Deep, deep clean. Anyways, different story, different time. Where were we? So, the videos, right? These videos were her in different wigs she had at the time, right? Because I guess the hair loss from a lot of her different surgeries and medications. And so she had hair loss, so I know her mom had bought her many different wigs when she was younger. And in these videos, which we're to believe she filmed, you know, secretly away from her mom for Nick as like a gift, kind of, like a favor to him. The same way you would, you know, snap a pic and send it to somebody on Snapchat, which, not a big fan of Snapchat, different story, different day, right? And so these videos were her with her different personas, characters, alter egos, whatever you want to call it. She talked about it in her testimony in the court. She said she would make up these personas in her head to kind of escape reality. And she named them, right? Her alter egos, they had different names, they had different personalities, characteristics, traits, like a fantasy thing, right? I can't keep up with them. There were a lot of them, as she claimed. She would do it with like age play, so she would say, oh, now I'm so-and-so, and I'm like a little sassy, and I'm actually 19, but like I'm actually like 23, or, you know, but this character here, like now I'm a 10-year-old. Now, like it's definitely, I don't want to shut it down because I know there are other people out there who do it and it's a completely innocent thing, is what I'm led to believe. And again, this Gypsy here is perpetuating a stereotype of this being a horrible trait that terrible people have, where they like to role play. And I don't believe in the age role playing thing myself. I do think it's a little odd, right? But Gypsy here went to court for doing crimes, and so we're just gonna focus on her with this, right? And I don't know. It's a bigger discussion to be had, so let's put that on the back burner. We'll touch that another time. I have to figure out how to word it so we can talk about it. But specifically in these videos, she's talking about different ages of characters and things. And there was one video in particular we have to focus on for this, because if we were talking about all the videos, we'd be here forever, right? There was one clip in particular, and I feel like I can't play it on YouTube. Frankly, I was surprised that Ken was allowed to play it in his video, because it's describing something very graphic, and maybe it doesn't violate terms of service. Again, because in my latest video where I talked about YouTube changing their policies, she's doing this role play and it's describing a perfectly, hopefully, fictional thing. And so YouTube changed it so that apparently you can talk about certain graphic things if it's fictitious. I don't know where this falls, right? But she said in this video, she's role-playing that she is, I don't know if she's auditioning to be Nick's girlfriend or wife. She was talking about how she wanted her life to look like with her then boyfriend Nick, that, you know, they were in love or whatever, right? And she's talking about, it's just like really hard to talk to. Trigger warning, you can skip on this video. I won't be upset if you guys missed this one. It's really bad. She was talking about, you know, like, I want to have lots of children with you, and I want to have a daughter, and, you know, when our daughter's old enough, I want her to lose her virginity to you, the father. I had to say what she said. I had to say what she said because, and she said it much more graphically than I am. I have to use the code words here because I'm on YouTube and I don't want this video flagged. Other people can get away with it. I am a small channel. YouTube does not care if they shut this thing down, right? Like, people won't raise a fuss. Please raise a fuss for me. I would appreciate that. But she says this, and I mean, it just really makes you throw up in your mouth when you hear it. It's abhorrent, disgusting. There's no words for it, right? Like, it just really makes you feel icky to be a person and share the same species with some people, right? Like, I don't think that's too far. And the biggest concern here is she has a daughter. She has a daughter now, right? And a husband now. And if that doesn't bother you or raise a red flag, maybe you have to watch the actual clip. We're not doing that here, but maybe you have to watch the actual clip. She said, in which we're led to be a role play, right? She said, I want my daughter, our daughter, to have sexual relationships with you, the father. And I want you to be her first person. Now we go into the argument. That should not be an argument at all, frankly. And you're going to see me get very mad here. This is what I want to talk to specifically today, because as you know, in some of these later videos, right, we do a little introduction, we kiki a little bit, then we talk about the topic at hand, then we break it down and I tell you what's really bothering me about it, because it's not all what you see on the surface, right? The files are released, right? Like, we see all these videos, they're really uncomfortable in the slightest, but in the most, they're abhorrent, they're terrible. And what specifically raises horrible alarms, because the video was made, the video is out there, it exists. There's no getting rid of it, no matter how much Gypsy Rose will pay people to scrub the internet, right? It's not going away. We've seen it. Frankly, I don't see how it could get worse. Although now she has a daughter and a husband, so you understand where I'm going with this. And I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything or, planning to do anything, obviously. I'm just saying there's a bigger argument here, which I've discovered this year, one of my beliefs, because I'm really discovering beliefs this year, and we're being very vocal and strong about them. And it is a strong belief of mine that if you, a person, can, whether it's joke or role play or say something and you don't mean it and you claim if the words come out of your mouth in any fashion that are graphic and you describe something sexual about a child, you should not be able to have children. I'm sorry. I mean, in any capacity, and it's, there are other examples of this. There's other people out there, right? Like, and I really don't want people attacking me, but there's a certain male podcaster out there who's very famous with a big love following, a big hate following. And, he and his wife have some children, and they had CPS called on them for what he claims was anti-Semitism. And I'm not diving into that topic today. But people weren't calling CPS because of the reason they should have been calling CPS, which was because we discovered this grown adult 40-plus-year-old man had a deleted Twitter account this whole time about, and not deleted until recently, mind you, it was active until people really started finding it, where he would just post after post say the most disgusting things about children, about, his children, about, whether or not he had children at the time. It was a role-playing account. Oh, I didn't actually have children. Oh, they weren't real people. It was fake. If you can talk about that and make a joke and say something even fake, right? Like, ew, what's wrong with you? You shouldn't be able to have kids, because how do I know it's fake? You know what I mean? How do we know it's fake? It's gross. It's disgusting. There's other people out there, and I'll drop his name, Shane Dawson. I'm not a fan of that guy. I'm sorry. I know he's very nostalgic for a lot of you out there, and I understand it. I love nostalgia. I have nostalgia for a lot of people. But we can't ignore the fact that he has grown up and said some really inappropriate, borderline illegal things to and about children, right? whether they were related to him, whether they weren't, and their famous parents called him out, right? I just don't think you should be able to have kids when you joke about that stuff. You know what I mean? That's my hot take, and I'm really sorry. And I'm not sorry because I'm sorry I said it. I'm sorry because it's so hot. Why is this a hot take? I feel like more people should understand why this is a concern. Maybe there's a little puzzle piece here that I'm not connecting, and I want to keep it respectful in the comments, please, because I'm not about deleting comments. That's not my prerogative here. Like, I want to see what people are saying, and I know you guys do too. I just really hope you can understand where I'm coming from when I say you have quote unquote joked about this. How do we know it's a joke? How do people who don't know you understand that it's a joke? And let's say it is a joke, right? Doesn't matter. You've said it. Your brain has gone to that place long enough for you to type the words. You had to think up this scenario, which means your brain is capable of thinking this, which means you could be capable of doing it. I rest my case. So I know we went on a little tangent there away from Gypsy Rose, but that's where I was trying to get to the whole time, which is all the tapes that I have seen so far, which are a fraction of how many are out there, have indeed bothered me. This one bothered me the most because she currently has a child with a man, with the husband, right? Maybe it wouldn't be as big as a deal to me if she didn't have a kid or wasn't married, but the fact that it was so specific and now she happens to have those pieces of this role play, you know, hopefully she chooses not to act on them, but like, oh God. I feel so icky thinking about it. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at. And I hope that you guys understand. I really hope this hits the right audience because I don't want a bunch of creepy people coming in here. And there have already been creepy people in the comments for some other videos that I strongly disagree with. I'm not deleting those comments. If you want to be a creep, I hope people can find you. And I hope they can tell your job. And I hope they can tell your kids and your family. I don't endorse it. But I'm not going to stop it. So, you know, you posted it, you know, just, I really hope I didn't, I'm sorry to ruin your YouTube video surfing. I hope we can have a different video next time where I don't have to talk about any of this, but obviously I want to talk about this because it's important and it's concerning. But, I wish we would just stop learning stuff about Gypsy Rose. I don't want her to be unwell. I just want her to be out of the public, and I want her to seek help. And I hope that her family is okay. I hope her daughter is okay and stays okay. And I don't know. Once again, we see what the actions of a person, whether they were a mother then or a mother now, we see what the internet can do for not you, but can cause onto your child, which I feel like is a big theme in these last few years. Colleen Ballinger, Megan Trainor with the surrogate baby, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, right? I could go on. So be careful out there on the internet, guys. If not for you, then for your child. For your unborn, unsurrogated, whatever child. So yeah, protect the children and don't be creepy. Don't be disgusting. Seek help. All right, that's about it. Enjoy the snowstorm and check out some of my other more lighthearted videos. I'm thinking about doing a snowstorm vlog, but I said in my video, I'm not sure what that would look like because I don't really want to show you guys my apartment. No offense, but I don't know you. We're internet colleagues, right? I wouldn't go as far to say friends, right? But we're an internet community. I just don't know that I want to show you guys the inside of my house though. So we'll have to see what the vlog looks like. I've got to move my neighbors are loud. I've got to move my car. And I did most of my preps, but I think I'm going to pre-cook some food tomorrow. Tonight it gets super cold. Tonight it gets down to -6, I think, which for this area, it's pretty freezing. We don't normally get that cold. But tomorrow all the snow comes at night and then we have the ice come and it's just a mess. So if you watched this video all the way through, congratulations. You are one of my favorite types of viewers. because you're getting my ad time up. Or not, just kidding, I don't make ads. You're getting my watch time up, and I appreciate that, because I appreciate everyone who clicks on the videos, but specifically if you have made it this far, there's a special place in my heart for you. So thank you so much for watching. Comment where you guys are watching from. I want to see how many people are stuck in the snowstorm. Comment on a more lighthearted topic that I can talk about next time. Comment what you're crocheting right now. Just comment. Just comment anything. Well, not anything, but, you know, just comment. Anyways, I will see you on the next one. Bye.